I want to start off by saying Rock upon Yahweh, Rock upon Yahweh Shai, Rock upon Yahweh, Rock upon Yahweh Shai, Rock upon Yahweh, Rock upon Yahweh Shai, Rock upon Yahweh, Rock upon Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, which is the name of the Most High in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. Yahweh Shai, which is the name of the only begotten Son, and the ancient Paleo Hebrew, who the world ignorantly calls Christ. This is just going to be a part two to the lesson I did. I believe it was yesterday or the day before, entitled "This is how the world is going to end." If you watch the video, I ended up getting interrupted by somebody at the damn door, so I had to go handle a situation real quick. So I wasn't able to finish the rest of the video because I ran out of my leisure time, so to speak. Inside joke. But anyway, hey, we're back again to finish the lesson. So if my memory serves me correctly, I ended off the video with turning to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 2. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and get the book of Habakkuk. Actually, the book I was looking for is the book of Zechariah, and I have Habakkuk, Salakia. Alright, so I'm going to show you in these scriptures, this is how the world is going to end, okay? So this is the book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague, wherein the Lord shall smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away as they stand upon their feet. Their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away within their mouths. Now, what is that talking about? What can do that to somebody? That's talking about ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay, and I'm going to give undeniable evidence in these scriptures that the way the world is going to end is by nuclear destruction. Okay, which for one proves that these scriptures are true for how people could know this information from thousands of years ago in the past. And second, it also will prove that America is Babylon the Great when you read the scriptures. Alright, which I'll get that a little bit later. Okay, because the scriptures show you how Babylon's going to be destroyed. Alright? As I know certain individuals say, yeah, I mean, when that nuclear destruction, that's convincing, but I don't think any of us were going to know how America or, Babylon, because that guy believed that Babylon was the damn Vatican. That brother ain't no shit, man. But with that being said, I'll just give that brother respect, as in he was trying, okay? That brother was trying. So, hey, you get an A for effort, right? You get an A for effort. Anyway, it's like, oh, well, I don't know if that's nuclear fire. That could just be how the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, which, he was saying that the Lord called down fire from, literally out of the sky, which that's not what happened. That was actually a UFO who shot down that fire on Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? Which I don't expect Christians to know that information, because this ain't for you, okay? And again, I gotta jump around a little bit, but this is all for edification's sake. But as I was saying, the Bible clearly shows you that America is going to be destroyed by nuclear weapons. And again, I'll get that a little bit later on. And it's mentioned in many books, even the Holy Apocrypha as well, which is part of the Bible. Don't believe what damn devil, demon, dreadlord tells you. Oh, but the Apocrypha is it's not part of the scriptures. And he can't prove how that's the case. He just goes online and tries to look up what Esau has to say. He won't actually do his due diligence and actually read these scriptures, and then he'll clearly see the scriptures tell you, Isaiah 28 and 10, for precept must be upon precept, here a little and there a little. That's how you get the understanding of the scriptures. Inside joke. Which again, if that brother, the mind of God, is watching, man, hey, look, my brother, you don't know the scriptures. You don't know the scriptures. Okay? You don't know the scriptures, man. And as I said it numerous times, and I'm going to say it again. I respect that brother, the mind of God. But with that being said, that brother is sitting there, well, GMS are so evil, so evil. Oh, Yasha, which is speaking about me, Yasha from ETT and the end time teachers is like, well, he's worshiping a false Christ, which I take that as a compliment because your Christ is going off, man. You're sitting there saying everybody can be saved. Well, that's bullshit, man. The Bible only says that Jews can receive salvation. Okay, if you're sitting there teaching that an Edomite and a Moabite can be saved, well, you're going hell off, man. All right, so you're worshiping a false Christ. Okay, so I gotta call your ass out, man. As he said last time, man, you're twisting yourself so goddamn bad now. You're twisting yourself into a damn pretzel. You're gonna be so mutilated after you mingle yourself up with them skipcheese and these perverse doctrines. Scientists are gonna be like, God damn, did we just find a new species? And I mean that, man. I mean that. Okay, scientists are gonna be like, God damn, did we just find a new species, man? When they look at you after you mingled yourself up, man. All right. So you better, hey man, now's the time, man. You better check yourself, man. Okay, you better check yourself, man, because you're going off. You got some things that are correct, but then you have other things that are going off, man. Okay. Anyway, I digress. 2 Peter, chapter 3. Let's see. I'm gonna start at 2 Peter's chapter 3, and we're gonna start at verse 5. For this they were willingly ignorant of, but by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that was then, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with Yahweh as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are as one day. Oh, and that brings to mind another great thing, man. I wanted to get this real quick. This is a little bit off topic, but I had to address this because the mind of God wanted me to answer this a couple weeks ago. So while I got the leisure time, let me go ahead and get that. Yep. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judges her. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because the mind of God uses that as his evidence. We'll see, there has to be a pre-tribulation rapture, because all her plagues are going to happen in one day. That's not what it's talking about, man. Now, who knows? That could happen. But the scriptures tell you right here, 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 8, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. Right, so those plagues you see in the book of Revelation chapter 18 verse 8, those things, that could happen over a number of years. I'd argue and say that is already happening as we're speaking, man. And that's been happening for years on end. Okay? What do you see when you look at America? Okay? I know for a fact down where I'm at, the sunshine state, as they call it, people ain't doing good down here, man. People ain't doing good down here. Okay? And a few weeks ago when I flew a few states over, I'm not going to give away my location, but when I went to a few states over, man, there's homeless everywhere down there, man. People ain't doing too good. You could see the cracks in the sidewalks everywhere. Even the buildings have cracks in them, man. You can see the buildings are getting all wear down, man. All right. So as he said, man, America isn't doing too good anymore. America ain't doing too good. Or as the scriptures say, Babylon the Great is fallen. She is fallen. And indeed, before it physically happens, it has to, what's the word I'm looking for? Not, I guess you could say spiritually. Yeah, I guess you could say spiritually happen first. Okay? As in, if you look at what's going on, you can start seeing it. And even these people who have no hope, man, even these people who are doomed, scriptures say, for many have been created just to perish. Uh, so those who are created just so they could be destroyed, according to the scriptures, even they're seeing it. Even they're saying, yeah, well, we ain't doing too good anymore, man. Now people are starting to see that America, hey, the scriptures say that America shall be made naked, man. That's in the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter. Okay? The Lord shall start revealing the nakedness of America to these other nations, and they are indeed seeing it. These nations are indeed seeing that America is not as strong as it once used to be. And why is that? Because the Lord, the scriptures say, for the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt. Now, not Egypt, if you knew anything about these scriptures, you would know that Egypt is actually talking about America. Okay? But that's a whole nother video in itself, so I'm not going to get off onto that. Okay? But the point of the matter is very simple. For example, you got people practicing bestiality, you got people practicing homosexuality, all types of sexual perverted acts. They can do it, and you can get away with it. They won't lock you ass up. But if you go out and are a so-called cheater, as they call them, oh, that's some type of, that's so evil. That's so evil. Keep in mind, the Bible says a man can have multiple wives. Keep in mind this, the scriptures say that, but the scriptures also say thou shalt kill a faggot. So the scriptures say if a man or woman lie with a beast, thou shalt kill the animal and the human being. Thou shalt kill them both. But guess what? That's allowed here in America. Why is that? Because the scriptures say the Lord had perverted a perverse spirit, or it's like he had mingled a perverse spirit in the land of Egypt. Okay? And even brother minded God fell victim to it, man. Oh, that's so evil to be attracted to somebody who looks sexually mature, right? That's so wicked. Even though, yeah, I mean, God has those attractions towards young people too, Ezekiel chapter 16, but that's now wrong because America says it's wrong. That's why. So if you go out and do that, well, that's so evil. That's so evil. And I'm being sarcastic with that, brother. I know he hasn't came up yet. So we gotta give certain brothers more time to think about things, man. Okay, which I'm not making fun of that brother. I love that brother. I love that brother. Okay, and I believe that he is an Israelite. But with that being said, he might need some more time to think about certain things, which is good. Which is good. Okay? The scriptures say, or not the scriptures, but as the old saying goes, practice makes perfect, man. Okay? So if you get more time to think about things, you get to practice it out, and then you get to make it perfect. Scriptures say a wise man would hear and increase his learning. Okay? So that's good. That's good. All right? Let's even go into the Apocrypha now. Which, yes, for that one brother out there, damn devil demon dreadlord, okay, and the damn devil demon himself, Andrew Ashby. I can't forget about that demon. Gotta throw both of those brothers in here. This book right here, this is part of these scriptures. Okay, this is part of the scriptures, my man. Okay, so if you're not teaching that, you better check yourself, that man. Okay, because that could be a sin unto death right there. Okay, and if that's not the case, we'll go ahead and read Revelation chapter 22, verse 18 and verse 19. For I testify unto any man who takes away from the words of the book of this prophecy, that I shall take his name out of the book of life, nearly paraphrasing the scriptures. And that book is not just talking about Revelation. That's talking about the all the scriptures, because the Lord said, for I come in the volume of the whole book. Okay? Let's see. Uh, this is a great chapter, man. And you got idiots out there saying, "Oh, well, the Apocrypha can't be true because the Apocrypha has no what's the word I'm looking for? The Apocrypha has no prophecy in it, so therefore it can't be true." Now, how can you read this and tell me this is not prophecy here? Okay, this clearly is speaking about something that's going to happen in the end of days. Okay, I might even you know what? I'm not going to read the full chapter because it's about 80 verses long. So I ain't going to read that. But I'm going to read a good chunk of it because this is all good information. Only got about maybe 10 minutes left, so I'll try to, read fast, so I won't stop too much to break it all down. But, I'll get the main meat that we need. Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up thyself with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent unto you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are set unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May a man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or may any one quench the fire and stubble when it have begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a mighty archer? Now, what is that arrow talking about? Those arrows, when you read in the scriptures, and again, these were people who lived in the Stone Age, or, around that time period, when there was no electricity, was no internet back then. And they didn't have these, they have cars, planes, nuclear missiles. They didn't have none of those things. So when they seen these things in dreams, they had to try to describe what these things were with the words that they had around back then. So indeed, if you see a missile flying, yeah, I could see how that looks like an arrow. Okay, so these arrows are talking about nuclear missiles. Okay, let's see. May one turn again an arrow that is shot of a mighty archer? The mighty Lord sends the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten. The Lord shall threaten. Wait a second. I thought sweet Jesus would never hurt anybody. But right here, the scriptures say the Lord is going to threaten. What does the word threaten mean? Like, for example, if somebody goes up to somebody and okay, well, you're going to give me my money or bad things are going to happen. That's a damn threat right there. Which, here in Babylon the Great, if you threaten somebody, they'll lock you ass up, man. All right, they'll lock you ass up. Okay? If you put out a death threat. Which I've had somebody put $1,000 bounty on my head before. And that guy was being serious. Which, hey, I love that brother. I love that brother. You know why? Because that brother, he's going into hardcore slavery, man. All right, so I hope to may Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh get that goddamn devil, man. That brother's name was Dynamic Hills. Yeah, I haven't seen that brother in a good year or so, man. That brother, he's still out there, man. He's still out there. So if anybody sees an individual on the comment board named Dynamic Hills, make sure you tell him that, or my username used to be Age Anonymous, but I changed it to, ETT, all right, or now End Time Teachers. If you see him, tell him that Age, he'll know who I'm talking about, all right? Tell him that Age said hi and to come visit him on his YouTube page. Hey, I missed that brother, man. I missed that brother. All right, I missed that brother. That guy, he don't know these scriptures, man. That brother don't know much. He's a damn fool, man. All right? But I appreciate that he thinks I'm worth $1,000. All right? And I'm just being sarcastic, of course. Let's see. Anyway, the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea arises with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. And the fishes thereof also, before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Now listen here. This is talking about those missiles now. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and they shall not miss, when they begin to be shot to the ends of the world. Now what arrow can, if I go and buy, well actually I know a friend who has a bow and arrow. I was going to get one, but I couldn't afford it. But if I go and borrow his bow and arrow, right? And where I work, they have like a, open fields out in the back. So let's just say I get to go out there and I take this arrow and I shoot it into the sky. The odds are this arrow might go at most a couple 100 feet. Not even. Okay? So what is this arrow talking about that can be shot to the ends of the world? And this man knew that arrows couldn't be shot to the ends of the world, man. That brother knew, yeah, well, if I shoot an arrow, it's going to stop probably, within 100, maybe 200 feet out. So he knew that an arrow doesn't get shot to the ends of the world. But he's seen these nuclear missiles, which can travel to the end of the world. All right, if Russia shoots one right now, it will be where I'm at in 5 minutes. Okay? So these arrows, these nuclear missiles, they can travel the world. Okay? Unlike a physical arrow. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again, until they come unto the earth. A fire is kindled and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer turneth not backwards. Even so the plagues that are sent shall not be, or slaki, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Now this next verse proves reincarnation. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Because Ezra knew that he would be back again in reincarnation. Anyway, let's read on. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, and the beginning of famines and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn away their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals, which is going into goods, shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be a good case. Even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Now, what is that speaking of? That's speaking about how, these people who make companies, they can go over to China and they can get cheap labor, man. Okay, that's what that's referring to. So they think they're in a good state because, I can make money by extorting these people. You know what I mean? Anyway, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Look at Venezuela. Okay, look what happened over in Venezuela, man. Okay, that's one example, and that's going to come to America, man. That's going to happen here in America. Like, I mean, goddamn, man, if you ever got a damn hurricane, you are, which this video will be over in like 4 minutes because the recorder's running out, but, I'll bring out as much information as possible. But if you ever been in a hurricane before, when the storm is heading towards where you are, everybody flocks to these stores to steal all the canned goods, or, not steal, but to, grab up all the canned goods, Slovakia. And the odds are, especially water, I mean, can't forget about that. When I go, there's no food and water left, man. Only the stuff that people don't want because, if you lose electric, then the food's going to go bad. Okay? So you see that as great famine there, having no water in the store. And I've been through it before. Okay? For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger, the sword shall destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be thrown down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick rows and in the cliffs of the rocks, as in an orchard of olives. Upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives, or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek for a vineyard. Even so in these days shall there be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. Now what is that talking about? I'll stop there for now because the video is about to end. But what is that speaking of? That's talking about martial law right there, man. Okay, when Esau kicks down your door and they search out, looking for everybody. And I had dreams of this happening, man. I've had a couple of dreams of, the SWAT team coming after me, and then I escaped. I escaped, man. One was a Walmart FEMA camp, which I gave these testimonies before. But I escaped. I ended up being left by those who searched my house with the sword, man. So who knows? That could be a future. That could actually happen. All right. Once martial law comes, which that's a prophecy that has to happen before the Lord returns. And that's in the book of I believe that's Daniel chapter 12. Okay. It calls it the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay. So that's one more prophecy that has to happen before America is destroyed. Okay. Now I was going to mention that the proof that America is going to be destroyed by these missiles is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16 and 17. It says, "For the Lord have put it in their hearts to fulfill His will." It basically says that they shall burn her. Okay. Matter of fact, it says I got 1 minute left. Let's see if we go ahead and get that. Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the horns which thou saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and they shall eat her flesh, and they shall burn her with fire. Right. So that is referring to nuclear missiles. How can one nation burn another nation? It's not possible. You can't fly over and drop gasoline on the place. The reason, or I should say, the way you do it is by ICBM nuclear missiles. But anyway, if that being said, I hope it was an edifying lesson. If that being said, I'm going to say shalom. And again, part 1 is uploaded a day before this one. Shalom.